up, everyone? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Brennan Mejia here, the Red Ranger from Power Rangers Dino Charge. Today we're going to watch and react to the top 20 best and worst Power Ranger crossovers by WatchMojo.com. Let's get into it. So, I haven't actually watched this yet. I didn't even know there were 20 crossovers, to be honest. That seems like a lot, but I guess with 30 years of Power Rangers, it makes sense. I already have a couple favorites myself, but I'm curious to see if they made the list. And what would you put on the list yourself?
You know what time it is? It's morphin' time!
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 best and worst Power Rangers crossovers.
Oh, best and worst. Okay, for some reason my brain thought it was just best.
For this list, we'll be looking at the most disappointing and exciting team-ups between teams that took place in both the show and the comics.
Oh, okay, so they're using the comics as well, because that's why I was like 20 from the show. I mean, I guess they could have technically, but if they're using the comics as well, there's more to draw from.
The Power Rangers crossover with next. Let us know in the comments.
I personally want a crossover with all 4 Dino teams. Okay.
Grid connection. Power Rangers Beast Morphers.
Worst. Okay, I don't agree. I didn't even know it was on this list.
Build up. We got an enormous battle that featured the Mighty Morphin, Dino Thunder, Dino Charge, and Beast Morpher Rangers facing Goldar Maximus. The fight scenes were admittedly exciting, and seeing Jason in action again was a genuine treat.
Unleash the power!
Can we just talk about that hair for a second? I know I'm growing mine back slowly, so the reason I have to keep cutting it short is because I do stunts and I double someone on a TV show. His hair is short. So I've been secretly trying to grow it back and asking the hairstylist, like, let me keep more on top, and they keep the sides short. But now we're on hiatus for like 3 months, so I might actually be able to get some length on it before I have to cut it again, ultimately in July. So yeah, anyway.
However, the team...
That scene right there before he said Tyrannosaurus, in the backdrop, those hills, there's a moment when we were filming that hundreds of sheep just ran by. I actually have it on video. Maybe I can add it to this and send it to my editor. But they just like filled the background and we had to wait for them to all like run across because we can't film with hundreds of sheep just randomly entering a Power Ranger battle.
I brought an army too! Army? That's not an army. Huh? A power coin? Now this is an army!
Team-up felt very unbalanced. Jason was the only Mighty Morphin Ranger to return unmorphed, and the Dino Thunder Rangers felt forced into the plot with no buildup. But worst of all, the Beast Morpher Rangers were sidelined in their own crossover episode. The resulting team-up felt random and unfocused.
Okay, to that point though, in the Sentai, if I recall correctly, Go Busters, which is the Beast Morpher's source material, and Kyoryuger, which is Dino Charge, they did it in the opposite order. So we actually wanted to do this crossover while we were filming Dino Charge back in, 2015 or so? But they ended up doing it later during Beast Morphers and then acted as if us coming into their show, when I think in the Japanese, Go Busters came into the Kyoryuger show, something like that. So it actually is supposed to be Kyoryuger centric more so than Go Busters or Beast Morphers. So yeah, I guess when you're adapting it, it then does kind of look like they're being sidelined. And this, obviously, Jason coming back, he's the main draw. But if you look at when we use the Japanese footage, because they splice with footage already shot in Japan with original footage shot in New Zealand, they put Jason in the middle for the morph sequences and whatnot. But then it cuts to my character being in the middle because in the Japanese footage, Kyoryuger, again, was the focus point even more than the Mighty Morphin source material. So it is kind of forced to be a Beast Morpher thing, but it's not. But it's Dino Charge centric, but it's actually in this about Mighty Morphin, but it's not. So I get their point.
We wish they had all assembled under much better circumstances. Number 10 best, Dimensions in...
Okay, so it looks like Watch Mojo is jumping like 10 worst and then 10 best and then 9 worst, 9th best or something like that. Interesting way to break it down, but I don't agree that we're the 10th worst. We'll see what they say, and then I'll tell you where I would have put us otherwise.
In danger, Power Rangers Super Ninja Steel. During the 25th anniversary special, the evil Lord Draven kidnapped several Rangers throughout the multiverse, including Tommy. the villain schemes to destroy all of reality with an army of robot ranger clones.
So I almost came back for this crossover. Our producer on Dino Charge talked to all of us at Morphicon where they announced the Ninja Steel cast. And before they announced them, he was like, hey, do you guys want to come back to New Zealand? And our cast was like, yeah. He's like, great, I'll reach out to you in email. But it ended up being that every few emails, he'd be like, sorry, we can't bring this ranger. So now it's just you guys. Sorry, we can't bring this ranger. Now it's just you guys. So it ended up coming down between Yoshi, our Blue Ranger in Dino Charge, and myself. And I just told him, I was like, look, you know, if you can only bring one of us, just bring back Yoshi, because his actual life brother, like blood brother in not TV, Peter Sidarso is the Blue Ninja Steel Ranger. So I was like, if you can only bring one of us, totally bring back Yoshi, because his brother is in Ninja Steel, so they could hang out and do the crossover, which he did. And I'm not saying he wouldn't have done it anyway, even if I didn't say that, but he appreciated me saying it. And I thought I would never come back because, again, this crossover happened before we came back for Beast Morphers, because Beast Morphers is after Ninja Steel chronologically. But yeah, so I was very bummed that I didn't get to come back for this crossover, even though I got to come back for the 10th worst one.
Thankfully, the Ninja Steel Rangers ally with several veterans to shut Draven down for good.
There are 10 of them!
Oh man! Now that is
Okay, so that's Peter, that's Yoshi's brother.
While it clearly takes a page from the Shattered Grid
And there's
storyline,
Yoshi, our
this
Blue
was
Ranger.
Still a fun
Nice kick.
and fast-paced adventure with a variety of rangers coming
Using
together
wireworks because you can't jump and fight like that in real life.
There were
Nice
also
front flip.
plenty of in-jokes
Nice front flip.
and updates to the lore. Sadly, with his tragic passing in 2022, this special marked the final appearance of Jason David Frank as Tommy in the franchise.
Rest in
We're
peace.
glad we got to see him save the multiverse one last time.
The Power Ranger legacy is in good hands.
Number 9.
I miss Will Schufelt.
A friend in
I used to see him at cons all the time, but he doesn't do them really anymore.
There was a
I don't-
time when Saban
Whoa.
tried making non-Power Ranger superhero shows. Unfortunately, none of them lasted long. One of the shows they tried to make happen was Masked Rider.
I barely remember this. So I watched all of Mighty Morphin, but man, I was literally 3 years old when Mighty Morphin came out. So I don't have memory of all of these episodes locked down.
To promote the new show, Saban made a 3-part crossover where the Rangers travel to the Masked Rider's planet.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Against the evil Count Dragon.
Now, villains, you shall know the power of the Masked Rider and the Power Rangers.
The idea of a promotional team-up sounded fun at the time, but it was heavily hindered by mountains of exposition. To make matters more convoluted, they took the time to make all these weird connections between both shows. But when Masked Rider premiered, it completely ignored any involvement it had with its sister series. That choice was fitting, since we'd prefer not to acknowledge this crossover either.
To the power. To the
That's interesting.
See you later, man. Take care.
Bye.
It is hard though when you're trying to mix universes, or even in some of the Marvel movies, you see them fighting in a certain area and you're like, where are the other Avengers? Why aren't they in this movie helping when they live in this city? Or where are, people from the MCU TV shows? Like, they just act as if certain people aren't around, even though they could totally help. So I'm like interested in the Thunderbolts coming out? Is that the name of the movie? With people who are like not main Avenger characters, but you still have some of them in, like the Winter Soldier is in it. But in the trailer, they keep saying that the Avengers aren't here to save you. Where are they? Why are none of them there? Like, all of them are gone? Where's the Hulk? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know everyone forgot Spider-Man at this point, that he's Peter Parker, but I feel like someone else is probably around or should be around. So it's just kind of strange, but they can't have everyone constantly making cameos all the time. So I get it, but yeah.
Number 9 best.
Oh, I haven't even read this.
Mighty Morphin
I was wondering how this was.
Godzilla versus the
Yeah, so
Mighty
I only
Morphin
read
Power
some of the Boom Studio
The
comics,
Rangers have
but
faced more than their
like
fair
Shattered
share of
Grid.
monsters over the years. But when they follow Rita Repulsa to another dimension, they find themselves face to face with a new threat.
who do you think would win, Godzilla or the Megazords? I feel like Godzilla would destroy the Megazords. I mean, I love Power Rangers, don't get me wrong, but Godzilla is Godzilla. Like, come on.
The king of monsters himself, Godzilla.
Ooh, King of Monsters, and I just realized Yu-Gi-Oh! Is King of Games. They should do a crossover. Then who would win? Blue Eyes White Dragon, Exodia, or Godzilla? I like the Dragon Sword. but I feel like
After
Godzilla would still
reminding
win.
us how he earned his crown, Godzilla is forced to work with the Rangers to take out an army of even worse monsters and King Ghidorah. We'd be lying if we said the story was incredibly deep or featured tons of character development. However, this comic miniseries more than makes up for its relatively minor faults, with stylized imagery and pulse-pounding action between two enormous...
It'd be cool to see them animate
To
this.
me, this is a sort of a combination.
I don't know why Power Rangers will never do, or they haven't. Maybe they will at one point now that Disney's going to own it, which I want to do a video about as well, my thoughts on that. But we have the comic book series and we have the live action and we have a couple movies, but we've never had an animated Power Rangers that was canon. And I don't know why. It just seems like such an untapped source of entertainment. Of course, we have video games too. I didn't say that, but like DC, Marvel both have animated versions and the live action. And for some reason, Power Rangers is like, we don't want to confuse fans or something with different storylines, but we'll do it with the comics. I don't understand. I don't understand. Tell me why.
Two franchises that should have happened a while back.
Number 8 worst. Samurai Surprise. Power Rangers Super Mega Force.
So they put my crossover with Mighty Morphin. I mean, no hate, but like, we're ranked the worst, really? Like the worst? Whatever.
Much like its Sentai counterpart, Super Mega Force had a fair share of tribute episodes that guest starred a few legendary Rangers. But the guest...
Oh, other fun fact. I actually auditioned to play the Gold Ranger. I think his name is Antonio in Power Rangers Samurai. When you first audition for Power Rangers, you don't know which color Ranger you start off with. They just give you the lines for the guys and there's lines for the girls. And then as you go through callbacks, they kind of lock you into a color. So yeah, I almost became the Gold Ranger in Samurai instead of the Red Ranger in Dino Charge. That would have been cool. Which one would you have preferred me as? In hindsight.
On the westernized season were often wasted. In the Samurai Surprise episode, we were excited that Red Ranger Jaden was around, but our enthusiasm quickly faded. Jaden shows up to offer the Super Mega Force Rangers some half-hearted advice, gives them a power-up, and then just leaves.
Thank you.
Teleportation jutsu.
Wait, where'd he go?
To make matters worse, he and Mentor G watched the Super Mega Force Megazord fight from a distance and don't help. We left feeling like we were robbed of a proper team-up between Samurai and Megaforce. If Jaden wasn't going to return to Red Ranger duties, why invite him at all?
With a team like that defending the Earth, I'd say we're in very good hands.
Number 8 best. Worm.
Again, I'm assuming they didn't want to film more original footage. And the Japanese, maybe they didn't actually have this crossover. So they're like, well, we don't have the Samurai Megazord fighting and we're not going to spend the money or the time to do it. So we'll just have Jaden chilling on a motorcycle.
Wormhole. Power Rangers SPD. The SPD and Dino Thunder Rangers have crossed over twice. While the history special was great, Wormhole was even better. In the crossover,
I don't know if I saw this one. I watched most of Dino Thunder, but I don't recall this crossover.
Grum goes back to the year 2004 to conquer Earth. He also teams up with the Dino Thunder Rangers' arch-enemy Zeltrax. To stop an invasion this big, 12...
I just realized SPD Red, Dino Thunder Blue, and Dino Thunder White Anime Vegas this past weekend. We were there all signing in like a Power Ranger area. So that was fun.
12 Rangers across 2 teams had to fight back.
Your Grum has been teamed up with our mortal enemy Zeltrax.
That's right. Your fight is now our fight.
Yeah!
Wormhole feels balanced because it represents both teams at their strongest and features the Dino Thunder villains. Plus, it gave us the iconic "No one gets inside" scene.
No one gets inside!
No one gets inside.
No one gets inside!
Unfortunately, all the memories of all the Rangers are wiped in the end because of stupid time traveling rules. But we'll never.
Aw, I didn't know that. So you do cool things and you don't remember you did cool things. Sad day. That kind of reminds me of Severance, which I haven't seen, but someone told me ideas of the plot. So not spoiler alert if you haven't watched Severance yet. But apparently there's some kind of mind stuff or something. I need to watch it. You need to watch it, apparently. I don't know if you want to watch it.
Never forget this awesome collaboration. Number 7 worst. Time for Lightspeed. Power Rangers Time Force.
You're gonna need my help.
Now, Power Rangers Time Force is my favorite season of Power Rangers. I mean, there's others I really like too, but it's interesting. I don't feel as bad for mine being the worst when they put theirs as 7th worst in my favorite season. I don't know. I don't agree with this Watch Mojo list so far. If you couldn't tell.
Carter Grayson, Lightspeed Rescue, Red Ranger.
Vipra, the Princess of Demons and bland acting, returns back from the dead.
That was mean. And planet.
Also enlists Francis' help to raise a powerful
The Princess of Demons and bland acting. I was like, wow, burn. Okay.
super demon to combat the Rangers. Thankfully, the Time Force Rangers get some unexpected help from some new friends, the Lightspeed Rescue Rangers.
Explosions!
Show them what demon power can do.
This crossover would have honestly worked better as a two-parter instead of a single episode, because everything felt incredibly...
See, that's the thing. As much as they gave us the 10th worst spot, we actually had 2 episodes that we crossovered. So maybe they'll talk about the other one as well and say it was better balanced. I don't know. But I think as far as I can recall, we're the only season or team to have like 2 episodes crossover in a row. They had like that one filler episode in between Grid Connection and whatever the heck the other one was called. But yeah, so we had one that took place in the Beast Morphers dimension and one that took place in the Dino Charge dimension. And then they had like a filler episode in between, kind of like recapping a bunch of stuff. And as far as I'm aware, every other crossover was like a one-off episode. So, take that.
Rushed. We have no explanation as to how Viper returned. And the big bad super demon is just another generic monster of the week that gets easily beaten.
Nice. Just
Seeing all 12 Rangers
annihilated.
fight side by side, and seeing a symbolic uniform exchange at the end was a nice touch. But those facts couldn't save an overly crowded number 7 best. Always a chance.
Okay.
Power Rangers
Yes.
in space.
So Johnny on Bosch is one of my favorite Power Rangers of all time, as well as amazing human. And I want to be him when I grow up. Not only is he a Power Ranger, but he's in a band and he's also a super, super accomplished and skilled voiceover actor, which I also am trying to get into. I just got a voiceover agent myself a couple weeks ago. So I'm going out on a lot of voiceover auditions. Anime has really been my gateway into voiceover stuff, and I really want to do it a lot. I did do one animated film called Ultra Duck that's supposed to release later this year. So that's super cool. It's not anime, but it's animated, which is cool. But yeah, so Johnny has helped me with a lot of advice on like equipment to buy, and he helped me put together my first voiceover demo reel as well. So solid dude. If you ever have a chance to meet him at a convention or just in life, definitely do it.
See you, man.
After an incident during a monster attack, Carlos loses his confidence in his ranger abilities. Adam, his ranger predecessor, tries to train him, but to no avail. Later, when Carlos is under attack, Adam whips out his old
broken morpher
and morphs into the Black Mighty Morphin Ranger.
Adam, go! It's morphin' time! Go!
Adam, don't do it!
He was warned that using the battered device...
Wow, they really got a Black Ranger that looks similar to Johnny's hairstyle and stuff, like body size too. I mean, they could be like, I don't know, brothers, but like they look like alternate versions of each other. Kind of like, you know, you got Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland. I'm kind of getting that vibe. Adam's going to do it.
He was warned that using the battered device was risky, but he's more than willing to chance it, which inspires Carlos to get back in the fight. Seeing Adam back in black is plenty awesome, but what really drives this crossover home is the message.
Nice.
Sometimes, no matter the risk, you just need to take a chance.
That's cool.
And do the right thing.
Adam, that was close. You okay, buddy? Yeah.
Number 6 worst, Beyond the Grid. Boom Studios.
Oh, we got Dino Charge representing there.
In the aftermath of the Shattered Grid story, a ragtag group of Rangers from various teams find themselves stuck in another dimension, searching for a way home. The mysterious Solar Ranger is also by their side to help.
Okay, quick rant. I'm still not in Legacy Wars. How many years has it been since this game came out? A lot. So one of the producers of Dino Charge, when it was still owned by Saban, told me I was going to be in the game, I think like a year or so after Dino Charge aired. I had lunch with him. He's like, yeah, you're planned to be in it, blah, 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 whatever. And then when Hasbro bought it, they just changed the order by a lot, and I still haven't been in the game. So occasionally when they post a new character on Instagram, I'll comment and be like, so when's Dino Charge Red coming? And then, you know, people will heart and like the comment, but no reply from Hasbro. Sad day.
While the idea sounds great on paper, the execution falls flat. Thanks
Great on paper. It's a comic, which is also on paper.
to poor writing choices. The overly complicated plot is often difficult to follow. A few of the heroes are also poorly written. As an example, although Cam was the sensible and sarcastic tech genius in Ninja Storm, he's comic relief here.
You all right?
Yeah, just tired of the lack of respect.
The Solar Ranger and her partner are the true highlights of the miniseries anyway. They're so good that they make us wonder why we even needed the other Rangers at all. Number 6 best, Thunderstorm. Power Rangers, Dino Thunder.
Dino Thunder is such a good season. So is Ninja Storm.
I thought we were the only ones left.
So did we.
Ninja Storm villain Lothor eventually escapes the abyss of evil and hypnotizes the 3 Wind Ninja Rangers into serving him. Naturally, this catches Dino Big Bad Mezagod's attention. The 2 baddies decide to form an unstable alliance while the Wind and Dino Rangers clash.
You must be lost, because I know we didn't invite you.
Maybe you forgot.
Ooh, you must be lost because I know we didn't invite you.
You're supposed to beat the bad guys, not be the bad guys.
Not only does this collab serve as an epilogue for Ninja Storm, but it was
I love the stunts in Power Rangers and just they're so smooth with the way they fight and the camera angles. I mean, they're masters of this craft. And now that I've gotten into stunt coordinating as well, I mean, it's so cool to watch it through a new lens, because when I was a kid, you know, I just watched it because like, oh, cool. But now I'm like watching it and studying it, which is totally different. Yeah, I mean, it A, feels a bit more like work, but B, it's enjoyable work because I enjoy getting better at things and making things more sharp. So just if you notice, if you ever noticed, or if you haven't, start watching and really pay attention to how they make it so seamless. It's really cool.
But it was brilliant to show veteran heroes overpowering inexperienced rookie rangers. Fortunately, Lothor's spell is broken, and all 11...
Oh yeah, they were at the convention too. The other Ninja Storm, Ninja Wind Academy, whatever. The 2 that aren't part of Ninja Storm, but they are. I don't know. The other Red Ranger, the other Blue Ranger, you guys will say in the comments what their names are in the show. I can't remember, but they were there too.
The Rangers band together to drive back the unholy Allied forces. In the end, the Dino Rangers bid the ninjas goodbye, promising to continue their great work as Rangers. Meanwhile, Mezagog disposes of the fallen Lothor permanently.
Oh, cool.
In a satisfying way.
Monster fight.
Say goodbye, Lothor.
Goodbye, Lothor.
And this time, mean it.
Number 5.
Mean it.
Drakina's Revenge. Power Rangers, Lightspeed.
Okay, I don't know if I've seen this one.
After somehow surviving the Lost Galaxy finale, Drakina tried to capture humans from Marina Bay to empower herself. To beat her for good, the Galaxy Rangers, Lightspeed Team, and a random little girl named Heather need to work together for some reason.
Go, Heather!
I have an idea. Can I count on you?
Okay, their Lightspeed Rescue Red Ranger has really good hair.
It was fun.
Just saying.
When it happened, the Galaxy Rangers are barely even in the episode. Honestly, the team-up puts more focus on Carter and Heather's relationship than the collaboration.
Carter,
Also didn't
that's his
help
name.
that Drakina herself had to be recast, since her original actor didn't take part in her character's big comeback.
Interesting.
As a fi-
I wonder if the actor didn't come back due to like financial reasons, like scripts and stuff, because Power Rangers isn't necessarily known for paying the most amount of money, but it also could be availability. Maybe she just was filming something else or busy with life. You know, things definitely change, which make it harder to continue filming if they just call you randomly. Like, hey, there's this crossover that happened, you know, years after you were on the show. You want to come back?
Nail in the coffin. A secretary says the infamous line,
Now you know, dear, there's no such thing as monsters.
why they included that lore-breaking line is beyond our understanding.
What the heck is Woobles?
Number 5 best.
Woobles. Anyway. Is that line really like not in context to anything? She just says it randomly.
Morphin Power Rangers / Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers /
I'm assuming they're going to add the Power Rangers in space and TMNT crossover as well, because that actually was live action. But yeah, I remember this coming out too, which I thought was interesting. Because I mean, you can cross over anything if you want. Right now, aren't they doing a crossover, I think, with Naruto and the Ninja Turtles, which makes more sense because they're both ninjas. But I feel like Naruto ninjas are way stronger than like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ninjas, because they can do Rasengans and things, and like Rasen Shurikens and things that can like blow up cities. But I don't know, maybe the Turtles would get a power up too, or else they'd get destroyed.
Ninja Turtles. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers / Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. When Tommy infiltrates the Foot Clan to rescue a friend, the heroes in a half shell and teens with attitude find themselves plagued by an unholy alliance between Rita Repulsa and the Shredder. The main reason this comic miniseries is so fun is because there's a lot of chemistry between both the iconic hero teams.
Okay, here we go. Here's Ken P. Yeah.
I guess that's a good question. We used our heads. And how'd you know we needed you?
It's also fun to see how their enemies work together. Additionally, the crossover made our childhood dreams come true by turning the Turtles into the Turtle Rangers. This meetup was so more phenomenal that it spawned a sequel where the Rangers become a team of unstoppable dinosaur mutants.
Oh, cool.
Who knew that two nostalgic franchises could work so well?
A lot of people know that, which is why they keep asking for more crossovers. And so many shows have crossovers, and comics have crossovers, and movies have crossovers, because people like seeing iterations of things they grew up on, which are slightly different from each other, meet. You know, Super Smash Brothers, my favorite video game. That's a crossover, kind of, with a million different games.
Well together.
And if you're ever in New York, hey, why don't you pop your head in our sewer?
What Ninja Turtle is that? I don't remember her name.
Sure.
Number 4 worst. Once a Ranger. Power Rangers.
Yeah, I don't know if I remember this one.
Power Rangers Operation Overdrive.
Huh.
Son of Rita Repulsa.
They have a son?
When Lord Zed and Rita Repulsa's son, just go with it.
I'm going with it.
Unites the Overdrive villains to disable the Rangers' powers, 5 veteran Rangers are called in to take the fallen team's place. While the veterans are a breath of fresh air, the Overdrive Rangers are at their worst. When their powers fail, they just throw in the towel. They apparently feel like they're nothing without their powers.
We've decided to leave Operation Overdrive.
After the team regains their strength, they destroy a monster in the most overpowered way possible before finally fighting alongside the veterans in the final brawl. Ultimately,
he just cut through a dragon unmorphed. That's pretty cool. Well, I guess this looks like a crossover that is multiple episodes, which kills my original theory of Dino Charge being the only crossover with multiple episodes with Beast Morphers. So never mind. Wow, he really just destroyed a dragon. I am still impressed by that.
15th anniversary team-up only helped establish an infamous season's reputation by failing to highlight the best parts of every Ranger.
I took your powers away! That's what you thought! But once a Ranger,
always a Ranger! I had a feeling they'd say that. Okay, Shattered Grid. Yeah, I read some of this. I'm in this too a bit, but I think I lose my powers, which is lame.
5th anniversary, the Boom Studios comics prepared a story arc of Morphonominal.
Oh, look, there's me. Did you see on the left? I don't know. It's like at 15, 22 seconds. Maybe my editor will freeze it there so you can see it.
Nominal proportions.
Oh, there I am again.
Squandered for so long.
Lord Draken, Tommy's evil counterpart from another dimension, has murdered his pure-hearted variant.
That's not
and
nice.
Amassed a massive army to destroy the entire Ranger multiverse. To save all of reality, every available Ranger throughout time and space.
Oh, there's our Purple Ranger.
The Mighty Morphin team is naturally the primary focus. However, the comic is still able to balance a tremendous amount of Rangers from over 2 decades.
Gold Ranger Zeo, Gold Zeo, that's my favorite suit.
Step up to defeat a galactic level threat. Throw in unique interactions and tons of recognizable references, and you have an epic love letter to 25 years of the teens with attitude.
they will realize the truth. They could have been God.
How did Draken lose?
Worst.
I actually don't know.
Clash of the Red Rangers. Power Rangers Samurai.
I don't think I've seen this crossover either.
Another Ranger.
When an evil robot escapes from Corinth into our dimension to make a deal with the Nilox, Scott, the Red RPM Ranger, chases after him and ends up butting heads with Jaden and the Samurai Rangers. This movie could have been something intriguing, with a conflict between Ranger teams of different world views, but the special suffered from a plethora of production issues.
In my dimension, we've been forced to live in a dome city.
The most glaring problem was how Scott is the only returning RPM Ranger, and how he's only seen morph due to contractual issues with his actor.
Yeah, so that's the thing. That happened in the Dino Charge crossover with Beast Morphers as well. Our Pink and our Green Ranger couldn't come back in person, not due to contractual reasons so much as just they weren't available time-wise, so they could only lend their voices. Hence, the in-suit stuff is, stunt actors, and then they just dubbed over them, did voiceover recording. So same kind of deal. Like they just couldn't go there for whatever reason. Same deal here.
Only provide voice work under a pseudonym. Additionally, the episode aired too early, spoiling elements for Super Samurai and making it feel even lazier.
Spoiling elements? I don't know what they mean by that. Maybe he used a power-up that he didn't get until later or something.
This is sweet!
Number 3 best. Reinforcements from the future. Power Rangers Wild Force.
Be careful, guys. We don't know what these mute orgs are capable of.
Jessica was also at Anime Vegas.
Orgs, they're going down just the same.
Oh yeah.
3 mutant/org hybrids named Mute Orgs escaped to the year 2002 to destroy the future. The combined forces of Wes, Eric, and the Wild Force Rangers.
Doing a backflip in that would feel so awkward because you can't really see what you're doing. Kudos to whoever did that.
Aren't enough to take them down. But they fortunately get a lot of help. The badass Jen and other Time Force Rangers were a welcome sight. However, we didn't expect a reformed Rancic to finally make peace with his old Time Force foes and pitch in.
Yo, maybe I did see some of that one.
Monsters, all 12 Rangers unite to defeat them in one of the most well-choreographed battles ever.
Power Rangers!
Yeah, Power Rangers and their choreography and their giant explosions for no reason.
This crossover provided a great redemption story for one of the series' best villains. It also successfully advances both seasons' stories and characters and creates a natural bond between two great teams. Number 2 worst, Shell Shock.
No, Ninja Turtles wasn't one of the worst. Come on.
You want Rangers? You gotta go through Turtles. Mutants!
Wait, I'm confused. By worst, so is second worst worse than 10th worst? Like double negative kind of deal? So are they saying my crossover was worse or better than this worst? Because it's almost the most worst? So mine's better? I think? Is that what they mean? Kind of? Right? And if I'm 10th worst, does that make me better than 10th best? Because 10th worst is actually not the most worst one, and 10th best is the worst of the best. You know what I'm saying?
Well, at least you got that right. It's time for some Shell Shock.
The Power Rangers meeting the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Sounds like a dream come true, right?
It was fun.
We've already highlighted how it worked brilliantly on paper.
I barely remember this episode, but I remember as a kid I was chill with it.
Missteps derail the story. In the special, Astronema brainwashes the Turtles to turn on the Rangers and hijack the Mega Chef.
I like how easy it is to brainwash superheroes for crossovers, and then yet the entire rest of the seasons it doesn't happen usually, other than like one Ranger, like Green Ranger Tommy, and then White Ranger was bad in Dino Thunder. I don't even know if he was brainwashed. I can't remember, but they had like Bad Ranger, just kidding, Bad Ranger, just kidding, and then like crossover, the whole team is bad, just kidding, and then they're not bad by the end of it.
Would have been great if it didn't involve the infamous live-action Ninja Turtles mess, The Next Mutation. This particular version of the reptiles had hideous designs. To make matters worse, uninspired voiceover work and horrendous writing and dialogue made them look worse.
I see.
Not even a final
I
brawl
see.
that featured both teams battling side by side could salvage this train wreck. Combining the acclaimed In Space team with the terrible Turtles series felt like a bogus move.
They can say what they want, but I still think it's cool that the Turtles fought live action with Power Rangers.
Pile up! Power Ranger Ninja Turtles!
Nincompoops.
Poor stunt guy under the bottom of that pile.
To the 10th power and the power of pink.
I don't know if I remember. Oh, no, I do remember. Okay, yeah, when they fought the Psycho Rangers. That title was just, I didn't recall it.
When the Psycho Rangers return,
Psycho Rangers are awesome.
It takes the combined efforts of both the Space and Galaxy Rangers to wipe them out.
Oh, nice. I also just look at stunts differently now that I do them so much more than I did when I was obviously a kid watching this, because I didn't do them as a kid.
By fighting perfectly in sync with their respective colors, both heroic parties managed to obliterate their Psycho doppelgangers. Except for Psycho Pink. Not only does she survive, but she also unleashes an unstoppable storm that threatens to destroy everything in sight. To silence the storm, Kendricks bravely charges in, perishing for her friends, both old and new, and her colony.
I didn't remember that. Okay, so I only remember parts of this. They killed Boss Galaxy Pink? Really?
This crossover left a monumental impression, starting with a fun union between two great teams, and ending with one of the most heroic tragedies in the series.
We have to be. We still have a mission to protect Terra Venture.
So what do they do with Pink going forward? Do they get a new Pink Ranger?
Legendary.
I don't know.
Power Rangers?
Yeah, this was unfortunate. I mean, I wanted to like this so much, and there was so much untapped potential being this big of a crossover. But I heard stories when we filmed Dino Charge, because the area they're filming is called the Quarry, and they film a lot of big battles there. And I guess on the day they had so many stunt people in suits for so long that certain people just started walking off because like they just were taking so long and it was so hot, and like I don't remember if there was like mud or something and people were like getting stuck in it. It was not what it could have been. And I don't blame the actors. You know, there's so many moving elements when these things come to fruition, and having that many people working, it's just unfortunate. Whatever the reasons were that it didn't happen as well as it could have. I'm still glad they tried, but for how much they built it up at the beginning of the season, it definitely didn't hit the mark that I was hoping.
Knew it. I've dreamt about this.
This legendary.
He was also at Anime Vegas.
Had been building up since Mega Force's beginning.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they built it up so much.
Troy having unexplained recurring dreams about an ultimate battle with 2 decades worth of Rangers fighting together. When the big day arrived, it was a super mega letdown.
They have cool parts. Like, that's cool. That's a cool shot.
In addition to being a year too late for the 20th anniversary, only a small handful of veteran...
I do gotta say, though, I don't think holding the blade part of the saw of a sword would, like, be safe for your hand. I mean, obviously don't give it to the kid, but using a stick or something. I mean, it's cool, because, like, look, Power Ranger, but you're holding a blade. That would cut you, I think. Okay, anyway.
Actors returned, and they barely got to say or do anything. The titular battle itself is extremely underwhelming.
Ariel.
Nothing but poorly edited stock footage, unnecessary commentary, and some of the worst plot holes ever made.
Hello, old friend!
Glad to be back.
Fans trudged through 2 lackluster seasons for this moment, only to be severely disappointed.
It's time for us to leave.
In Space Silver is also one of my favorite suits. Just gonna throw that out there. But yeah, anyway, I wish that this had more to it. But again, I wish the same for my own crossovers. And I feel like Avengers, like Infinity War or Endgame, yeah, had the most fulfilling crossover, unless we're counting the Spider-Man movie. Number 3, was it? Or 2? Was it No Way Home? I think No Way Home. Whatever, with the 3 Spider-Man. Those 2 crossovers are still the best in my memory at the moment. Just because everyone was highlighted so well, and I feel like everyone got their hero moments. Aside from the Hulk, I know that was a letdown, but aside from him.
We'll always be with you.
Anyway.
Rangers, Wild Force.
Okay, yes, Forever Red, I agree, is probably the best crossover.
Taking the #1 spot is the all-star reunion of the most iconic Ranger color. The last remnants of the Machine Empire plan to avenge their fallen
Got civilian fight too.
from the past. In order to silence this threat, a huge group
Fight
of
Beetleborgs
Red
for some
Rangers from
reason.
previous seasons come together to fight.
Wire work.
This
Sparks.
crossover has it all.
Explosions.
A decade of Rangers
The
getting back in
moon.
their prime, morphed and unmorphed action sequences,
I just said
and
that.
plenty of continuity nods to the last 10 years. Even though the epic team-up ends with an absurd scene, we still wish that it was a half hour longer.
Yeah.
It was exhilarating to see so many leaders work together. In the end, this special stands as a true 10th anniversary love letter to devoted Ranger fans everywhere.
I guess it's time to say goodbye again.
Goodbye again. All right, guys. So there you have it, the 10 worst and best. Let me know where you would have put my own episode. And they only showed one of my episodes. I guess my other one didn't even make the list where we did the other crossover in the other dimension, which is lame. I would have put it in there. I don't think we were 10th worst unless we were best. Whatever I said earlier with being confused. But hopefully you liked the video. If you want to see more like it, make sure to click this.
We did it. It's over.
What? There's thousands of them!